Hello and a very warm welcome to Grow English Mastery. My name is Scarlett, and I am so glad you're joining me today for a lesson that is incredibly important. I want you to imagine starting your adult life, full of hope and ambition after graduating from university, but you are already carrying a debt the size of a mortgage. But this debt isn't for a house, it's for your education. For more than 43 million people in the United States, this is not an imaginary scenario, it is their reality. It is a national crisis that now totals over $1.7 trillion. That is more than all of the credit card debt in the entire country combined. But in the middle of this crisis, there is a powerful word that offers a light at the end of a very long tunnel. That word is forgiveness. Today, we are going to explore one of the most talked about, most important, and most controversial topics in the United States right now. Student Loan Forgiveness IBR. It is a hot trend because it represents a potential pathway to freedom for millions of people, but it is also full of complexity and recent controversy. Our learning goals for today are to become experts on this critical issue. First, we will break down and understand the key concepts. What is income-based repayment, and how does it lead to loan forgiveness? Second, we will learn 10 essential vocabulary words that are the foundation of financial literacy. Third, we will master 2 key grammar points that are perfect for defining complex terms and talking about long-term actions, using relative clauses and using the present perfect continuous tense. And finally, you'll get some practical tips on how you can apply these skills yourself. This is a lesson about money, but it's also about hope, fairness, and the future of a generation. Let's get started. Part 1. The Problem: America's Student Debt Crisis. Before we can understand the solution, we must understand the scale of the problem. Higher education in the United States is incredibly expensive. For decades, the cost of university has risen much faster than inflation and wages. To pay for their education, a majority of students have to take out loans. A loan is money that is borrowed and must be paid back, usually with interest. The result is a generation of people who graduate with a crushing amount of debt. The average student loan borrower in the U.S. has a debt of around $37,000. This debt affects every aspect of their lives. It can make it difficult to buy a house, start a family, save for retirement, or even afford basic living expenses. It is a huge financial and psychological burden that can last for decades. It is this crisis that has made the idea of loan forgiveness such a powerful and popular political topic. Part 2. A key solution. What is income-based repayment? IBR. Because of this crisis, the U.S. government created several programs to help borrowers manage their debt. One of the most important is called an income-based repayment plan, or IBR. Traditionally, when you take out a loan, your monthly payment is calculated based on how much money you borrowed and the interest rate. But for a recent graduate with a low-paying first job, this standard payment could be impossibly high. An IBR plan is different. It calculates your monthly payment based on how much money you earn, not how much money you owe. This is a revolutionary idea. Specifically, your payment is usually set at 10 or 15% of your discretionary income. Discretionary income is a very important term. Let me explain it with an analogy. Imagine your monthly income is a whole pizza. The government knows that you need a large part of that pizza just to live. You need slices for rent, for food, for transportation, and for taxes. The government has a formula to calculate this essential living amount. The part of the pizza that is left over after these essential costs is your discretionary income. Your student loan payment on an IBR plan is just a small slice of that leftover piece, not a slice of the whole pizza. This is a huge benefit for borrowers. If you have a low-paying job, your discretionary income might be very small, so your monthly student loan payment could be very low, sometimes even $0. Each year you have to recertify your income, and your payment is recalculated. If you get a better job and your income goes up, your payment will go up too. The goal of IBR is to make student loan payments affordable and to prevent borrowers from defaulting on their loans. Part 3. The promise at the end. What is loan forgiveness? Now let's talk about the second key concept, loan forgiveness. This is a program where, under certain conditions, a borrower is no longer required to pay back some or all of their student loan debt. The debt is wiped away, it is forgiven. There are a few different types of loan forgiveness programs in the U.S. For example, the Public Service Loan Forgiveness Program, PSLF, is for people who work in public service jobs, like government workers, teachers, or employees at nonprofit organizations. If they make their payments for 10 years while working in one of these jobs, the rest of their loan balance is forgiven. There is also a teacher loan forgiveness program specifically for teachers who work in low-income schools. Part 4. Putting it all together, how IBR leads to forgiveness. This brings us to our main topic, student loan forgiveness under an IBR plan. This is the promise that is given to borrowers who sign up for plans like IBR. The deal is this. If you make your payments consistently on an income-based repayment plan for a long period of time, usually 20 or 25 years, any remaining loan balance at the end of that period will be forgiven. This is a critical lifeline. Many people, especially those with very large loans or those who work in lower-paying fields, might make their IBR payments for 25 years and still have a huge amount of debt left over because their payments were never large enough to cover the interest. This program says that if you have done your part and paid faithfully for a generation, you will be free from the debt. Part 5. The hot trend. Why is everyone talking about this now? So, why is this topic a hot trend right now? It's because of a recent and very controversial development. Millions of borrowers have been patiently making their payments for over 2 decades and are now finally becoming eligible to have their loans forgiven. This is a life-changing moment for them. However, the U.S. Department of Education recently announced that it was putting a temporary pause on processing this type of IBR forgiveness. The official reason given was the need for system updates. This pause has caused a massive public outcry and a lot of anxiety. Imagine you have been running a marathon for 25 years, and just as you are about to cross the finish line, someone tells you to stop and wait because they need to fix the clock. This is how millions of borrowers feel right now. They feel that the promise they were given is being delayed or even broken. This controversy, combined with the immense scale of the student debt problem, is why student loan forgiveness IBR is a major headline and a source of intense debate in the United States today. Now, to help us discuss this complex financial topic, let's learn some key vocabulary. 1. Loan noun. An amount of money that is borrowed, often from a bank, which must be paid back, usually with interest. Spelling L-O-A-N. Example 1. Many students have to take out a loan to pay for college. Example 2. I need to get a loan from the bank to buy a new car. 2. Debt noun. Spelling D-E-B-T, the B is silent. Example 1. The student loan debt crisis in the U.S. affects millions of people. Example 2. He is trying to pay off his credit card debt. 3. Forgiveness noun. The act of stopping blaming someone or stopping being angry with them. In finance, it means to cancel a debt. Spelling F-O-R-G-I-V-E-N-E-S-S. Example 1. After 25 years of payments, he is eligible for loan forgiveness. Example 2. She asked for his forgiveness for her mistake. Verb form, to forgive. 4. Repayment noun. The act of paying back money that you have borrowed. Spelling R-E-P-A-Y-M-E-N-T. Example 1. The income-based repayment plan makes monthly payments more affordable. Example 2. The repayment period for the mortgage is 30 years. Verb form, to repay. 5. Income-based, adjective phrase. Calculated or determined based on how much money a person earns. Spelling I-N-C-O-M-E. B-A-S-E-D. Example 1. IBR is an income-based repayment plan. Example 2. The new tax is income-based, so richer people pay a higher percentage. LU. Discretionary income noun phrase. The amount of an individual's income that is left for spending, investing, or saving after paying taxes and personal necessities, such as food, shelter, and clothing. Spelling D-I-S-C-R-E-T-I-O-N-A-R-Y-I-N-C-O-M-E. Example 1. Your IBR payment is calculated as a percentage of your discretionary income. Example 2. After paying my rent and bills, I don't have much discretionary income left for fun. 7. Eligible adjective. Having the right to do or obtain something because you satisfy the necessary conditions. Spelling E-L-I-G-I-B-L-E. Example 1. Not all types of loans are eligible for the IBR plan. Example 2. You are eligible for a discount if you are a student. Noun form, eligibility. 8. Balance, loan balance, noun. The amount of money still owed on a loan. Spelling B-A-L-A-N-C-E. Example 1. After 25 years, the remaining loan balance can be forgiven. Example 2. I check my credit card balance online every week. 9. Borrower noun. A person or organization that borrows something, especially money. Spelling B-O-R-O-W-E-R. Example 1. The new pause is causing a lot of anxiety for borrowers. Example 2. The bank needs to check the credit history of the borrower. Verb form, to borrow. 10. Controversy noun. A lot of disagreement or argument about something, usually because it affects or is important to many people. Spelling C-O-N-T-R-O-V-E-R-S-Y. Example 1. The pause in the program has caused a huge public controversy. Example 2. The new law was the subject of much controversy. Now let's look at the grammar we need to define these complex ideas and talk about the long journey of these borrowers. Our first grammar point today is using relative clauses to define terms. A relative clause is a part of a sentence that gives more information about a noun. It often starts with words like who, that, or which. This is a perfect tool for explaining all the new financial terms in our lesson. Who is used for people. Example: a borrower is a person who borrows money. That or which are used for things. That is more common in general speech, and which is often used for more formal definitions or to add extra, non-essential information. Example: a loan is money that you have to pay back. Example: IBR, which stands for Income-Based Repayment, is a federal program. Using relative clauses makes your definitions clear and your sentences more sophisticated. Our second grammar point is the present perfect continuous. The structure is has, have been plus verbing. We use this tense to talk about an action that started in the past and is still continuing in the present. It is perfect for emphasizing the long, ongoing nature of student loan repayment. Example: millions of borrowers have been paying their loans for over 20 years. The action started 20 years ago and is still happening today. Example: the government has been trying to find a solution to the debt crisis. The effort started in the past and is ongoing. Example: she has been working as a public school teacher for 9 years hoping to get PSLF. Her work is a continuous action leading up to her goal. This tense is great for adding emotion and emphasizing a long duration of time. To finish our lesson, I want to share an inspirational story about a very old idea that is deeply connected to our topic today, the concept of debt forgiveness. This isn't a modern political idea, it is an ancient principle called the Jubilee. The concept of the Jubilee comes from ancient traditions, most famously described in the Hebrew Bible. It was a remarkable system of social and economic reset. The ancient Israelites counted years in cycles of 7. After 7 cycles of 7 years, that is, every 49 years, the 50th year was declared a special year of Jubilee. During this year, 2 extraordinary things were supposed to happen. First, all agricultural land that had been sold was returned to its original ancestral owners. This prevented a few wealthy families from accumulating all the land over time. Second, and most relevant to our story, all debts were forgiven. Every single person who was in debt to another was to be released from that debt. The slate was wiped clean. What was the purpose of this radical idea? The Jubilee was a mechanism to ensure social justice and prevent generational poverty. The ancient writers understood that debt could be a trap. A family might fall into debt because of a bad harvest or an illness. Without a reset, that debt could be passed down from parent to child to grandchild, creating a permanent underclass of people who could never escape their financial burdens. The Jubilee was a national celebration of freedom. It was a second chance. It was a recognition that economic life should have a rhythm of renewal and that a society is stronger when everyone has the opportunity to start fresh. While the modern Student Loan Forgiveness IBR program is a complex policy, the basic human idea behind it that after a long period of faithful effort, a person deserves to be free from a crushing debt is a very old and powerful one. We have explored a very important and current topic today, Let's summarize our key takeaways. First, we learned about the $1.7 trillion student debt crisis in the U.S. and the Student Loan Forgiveness IBR program, which offers a path to freedom for millions of borrowers after 20 to 25 years of payments. Second, we learned 10 essential financial vocabulary words, including loan, debt, forgiveness, discretionary income, and eligible. Third, we mastered 2 important grammar points, using relative clauses to define complex terms and using the present perfect continuous to talk about long, ongoing actions. The student debt crisis is about more than just numbers. It's about people's lives, their dreams, and their ability to participate fully in the economy. The ongoing controversy surrounding the forgiveness program shows just how important and sensitive this issue is. Thank you so much for your focus and for joining me today at Grow English Mastery. Learning about these real-world social and economic issues is a fantastic way to make your English skills truly powerful. Please let us know in the comments, what do you think about the idea of student loan forgiveness? And please, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more lessons that make sense of our world. Keep learning, stay curious, and I look forward to seeing you in our next lesson. Goodbye for now.